So this is Baruch Fleischman. I came back here once again, the Tikkun Elevator Call to learn with you, or trying to understand that I'm not the great Rebbe. I'm just a reader. But I'm trying to, readers trying to learn. I join the best I can. So we're learning over here in Likutei Maharan. So this is the continuation of where we've been at this story that we've been talking about. So he's saying like this, and we're going to read right here at this place, a place we've read before, but I want to go through it now, try to put it in context. We went through the 4 different humors. We went through the story of the man who's lost of the path, doesn't know what path he's on or where he's going. He refers to his life, and there's darkness all around him, but then he sees a light, like referring to the Torah. He comes to the light, and the light leads him to a crossroads. At that crossroads, he finds 2 things, a tzaddik, and he finds death. So trying to understand, well, what does this all mean? So this is press redo. This really refers to your life, my life. And I'll take my life because that's the one I'm trying to work on. I really not knowing where to go or what to do, how to achieve what I want to achieve. Now he's going to tell us what it is that our heart really wants. So this says the first step, seeing the tzaddik, is to see the tzaddik. As in, your eyes will see your teacher. This step negates the vices that stem from the 2 yesodot, mineral and vegetable. Now, how is that possible? By seeing the tzaddik, how is it possible that this would negate these 2 different things? Mineral, he said, is melancholy or depression, chas v'shalom. And vegetable is tivus, desires, bad desires. Namely, melancholy with its derivatives and evil passions. He says, for the tzaddik of the generation is called the mother. Now, we have to understand that mother. Rebbe Nachman in Hebrew is called the Nachol HaNovea Makor Chochma. Now, that phrase means in English, he's like the river or the brook, the stream that grows, that is flowing. He is the root of Chochma. He's also the Chochma, he is Bina, the root of Chochma. Bina is the world beyond. So therefore, all of this is talking really about the world beyond. I don't know if I said that exactly right. Namely, melancholy and its derivatives and evil passions. Those things, the depression and tivus. For the tzaddik is called mother. Mother is Bina because he nurses the Jewish people to the light of his Torah, because he delivers from that perch, that high level, the light of his Torah. And the Torah is called milk, as is written, honey and milk under your tongue. So we have empirical validation for this. Even when a child is sad, and he tells the story again, he sees his mother, he very quickly towards her. Now this is something that I saw. There's a breath of a Rebbe. He's a Rebbe now, I guess. I don't know what you say. His name is Rabbi Yitzchak Morgenstern. Thanks to a friend, Rabbi Glockman. So thanks to him, I was able to tune into some of his shiurim. And over there, he's talking about the same idea. So that speaking, another metaphor for speaking before the Talmud Chacham and confessing before the Talmud Chacham is a metaphor for the return of Malchus to Bina, of the moving up out of this world to the source, closer to the source of everything that's happening to us in this life. So he says, he sees his mother, that's Bina. He very quickly towards her, because we want to do tshuva. This is what Rabbi Morgenstern is saying, we want to do tshuva. It's a natural thing within us. But there's so much to steer us away from it. And one of the principles of Rebbe Nachman that I like is that no matter how you are, where you are, what you're doing, that desire is still there and can transport you out of the low depth in which you find yourself. If he sees his mother, he very quickly stirs towards her. Mother is Bina, towards the source. We also see clearly that when a child is absorbed in his own nonsense, even though he has a great desire for this, and you're the child, I am the child. If you can find your mother, Bina, you can seek the world beyond. you could attach yourself to. I think attach is better, and I think I might have seen this somewhere in here, so we'll see what else pops up. So even though he has a great desire for his nonsense, if he sees his mother, in other words, if he's able to do tshuva, he could return all of that mess to Bina. He throws away all of his desires and draws close to her. We find then that the vices stemming from the two Yesodot, that are mineral and vegetable, in other words, depression and taiva, are negated by gazing at the countenance of the tzaddik. If you could find the tzaddik, it takes all the mistakes that you've made in these two realms. So he was afraid of the thorns. So now explains more. The aspect of the vegetable life form and the ditches. He's afraid of the thorns and the ditches, the aspect of the mineral life form. So he says, once again, the thorns are vegetable. So those are the taivas. Those are the things that will ultimately really hurt you. I ate a big meal the other day, real fatty meal. The next day it hurts you because you can't digest it. And the ditches, the aspect of the mineral life form, okay, that's just falling down into despair. When he happened upon a lit torch, somebody told you that you could get out of this. You could get out of this. Is a Talmud Chacham who glows with the light of the Torah, that you find someone who tells you how you can get out, and he shows you a light. Through him he is saved from the vices that stem from the two Yesodot. So that from this, he is saved from the two vices that come from the Yesodot of mineral and vegetable, and then he is saved from the thorns and the ditches, and he's not going to fall down. That's what happens then. That's by seeing this light. So, in other words, somebody has to tell you, for the position that you're in right now, you can reach Hashem from right here, right now, right this minute, right this second. And it's happening as you're listening to this. It's happening. So from that, you can raise up all of the things that he made you into, because it's him that made you. You didn't make yourself. Your parents are intermediaries between what he wants. What are we doing here? You're on this path, what are you doing? The second step is the charity one gives to the Talmud Chacham. Why? Because the Talmud Chacham really is in a position where he embodies a number of souls, that is, neshamot, are really related to him. So therefore, when you find a Talmud Chacham, the one who from your soul rings and matches with that, through this he is saved from the vices that stem from the two Yesodot of animals and humans. So going to the tzaddik, or giving money to the tzaddik, say giving money to charity, to the proper charity, and the aspects of wild beasts and bandits, you're saved from that. You are not going to be around bad people anymore, which are idle chatter, and then you're not going to be talking bad and pride and their derivatives. Now let me read this again so I didn't screw it up too bad. Through this he is saved from by giving charity, from the vices that stem from the two Yesodot, animal and human. The aspects of wild beasts, okay, so we can understand that sometimes we're wild beasts. And then bandits, people that just want something for themselves, and he says, what do wild beasts and bandits correspond to? This is where I lost it. They are idle chatter, I guess goes along with wild beasts, and then bandits were pride and their derivatives. Now, I don't see how they go together exactly. Maybe he's got something down below, and I'll look and see. As this is because idle chatter and slanderous gossip engender poverty. So become impoverished, you have to steal, as is written, all the men have died. This is poverty. Also concerning pride, it is taught like this: poverty is a sign of a haughty spirit. I'm too good for that. I can't do that because, look, it's beneath me. But by giving charity, a person becomes wealthy, as the sages taught, though they were united, and likewise many, even so they are over and gone. I have afflicted you, but will afflict you no more. He is never again made to experience the markings of poverty. Now, I'm not sure as exactly what they said he says they become wealthy, because look at it like this. So the person is at the very bottom and he recognizes it. And this is one of the ideas of the Tikkun elevator. And there he realizes there's a path upwards. What is that path? So he said, but we have now two elements of what that path is. One of the paths is seeing the tzaddik. But over here we're saying, what tzaddik we're talking about? We're talking about the world beyond. Is to be able to see that there's a tzaddik there to whom our souls are attached. And we're thinking about Rebbe Nachman here. And he says, well, to which our souls are attached. We have a hunger for his direction. And so therefore, because why? Because we are looking for that light, that elevator, to get us out of here. To make it make sense for us. To take some of the pain and give it back to its source. And that's that's one of the main themes, I think, that he's teaching us here. This all has one main source, and that's the Ein Sof Baruch Hu Hashem Yisbarach. Your light shall burst forth like the heavens. So he says, we'll be able to figure it out. We find then that through charity one is saved from the vices that stem from the two yisadot of animal and human, corresponding to wild beasts and bandits. Animals eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and that's it. Just keep going for it until they get full. And they stop and do it again. Just animal. And bandits, he says that it steals what the human, these different things that steal us away from reality. Now the next part, he said the third step is when one makes a spoken confession in a Torah scholar's presence. Then he says the third step is confess. First see the scholar, then give charity to the scholar. And then after that, he says, make a confession in the scholar's presence. Through this, the Talmud Chacham guides him on a proper path in line with the root of his soul. Now, just a little cute metaphor that I made with this drawing that my granddaughter made a few years ago. She's much better now. Let's see. Let me see if I can get it. I can only get it from the side the way that my desk is arranged. But somebody has to take you on a path to lead you to the elevator that goes up to the top and beyond. So that is the Talmud Chacham that we're talking about here. So let's go back. Just a cute little metaphor there. So after seeing the Talmud Chacham, giving charity to the Talmud Chacham, and then confessing once again is tshuva. But we have to really spend time to look at ourselves. There's a moment in every day that we could look at ourselves a little bit. That's what I try to do. So whatever. Through this, the Talmud Chacham guides him on a proper path in line with his root, the root of his soul. And that's what is so very important, because each and every one of us is unique. We all have different contributions. So we have to find our uniqueness. This is when he came to a crossroads, and then the sages comment, it is the Talmud Chacham in the day of death. Now you explain this to me. This is from this Gemara in Sota. This is the step of spoken confession before the Talmud Chacham. The day of death, what does that mean? How does this go together? Is an allusion to confession. As the sages taught, all those about to be put to death confess. Now that's a fact that comes from the Gemara in Sanhedrin. This is called Parshat Derachim, a crossroads. So Parshat Derachim. Because the Torah scholars mafrish, because what the Torah scholar does for you is mafrish lo derech. He shows you a way to go in the line of the root of your soul. He says his soul, just spoken that way, but it means your soul. In line with your soul, he shows you the path that you have to take. This is Baruch Fleischman. This is the Tikkun Elevator Kollel.